Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the October 20th edition of Carolina Week.
We'll take a look at the damage the NCAA investigation into the football team could do to the university in the long run.
We'll show you how a new organization in Carrboro is using furry friends to change lives.
In sports, the football team has a huge game in South Florida. And could we have found the reason for Carolina's recent struggles?
And weathercaster Drew Day will tell us if we can expect another gorgeous fall weekend.
All that and a marvelous mural maker. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
The NCAA probe of Carolina football is nearing an end. Or is it? Good evening, I'm Claudia Rupsich.
And I'm Andrea Lutka. Thanks for joining us. Although we know the fates of almost all of the 16 players originally named, some big questions remain, questions that someone will have to answer. Eddie Sykes joins us live in the studio. Eddie, prominent campus leaders are weighing in on these investigations and the possible long-term effects.
That's right, Andrew. We had a chance to sit down with one prominent campus figure who has a personal interest in the future of our athletics program, and he's concerned. Like a sack in the backfield, the university community has been more or less blindsided by the ongoing NCAA investigations that have kept several UNC stars off the field. But whether you anticipated the blow or not, former UNC system president and campus icon William Friday says the issue goes much deeper than just a few suspended athletes.
College sports really are out of control. What happened in the late 90s was that the invasion of television money upset the whole balance of what we were trying to do.
Friday says similar problems still exist today, and he wants to put an end to them.
What I'm talking about is the commercial exploitation of the institution, where you're manipulated by the networks, you're told when to play, you're told how many games you can play in a given day. All these things that are in and around that kind of power, all based on money, is when the institution itself loses its sense of control.
It's that sense of control that people like athletics director Dick Bedore are trying desperately to regain.
It is my responsibility to bring all of these issues to a close, and I assure you that the university staff is working tirelessly to make that happen.
Friday can rejoice in knowing that administrators and coaches are committed to getting back on track.
It's not something that we're going to be able to snap our fingers and overnight obviously change the perception that has transpired over the last couple of weeks, but I give you my word and I promise you as the head football coach, we're going to work every day to restore that confidence.
Friday is still very much a part of the ongoing conversation about intercollegiate athletics. In 1989, he was one of the founding members of the Knight Commission, a group dedicated to reforming college sports programs and recruiting. But there's one thing Friday says is more important than any team, game, or score.
And that is the integrity of the university itself. And whatever impinges upon that, whatever's disruptive of that, that has to be changed. That has to be corrected.
The key to that, Andrea, is to regain what the NCAA calls institutional control. The program has made steps in that direction, for example, keeping a tighter rein on players' out-of-town trips. But the question is, will that be enough to avoid sanctions that go beyond the players' suspensions?
Eddie, as Tar Heels fans, we're all wondering if Butch Davis will be able to hang on to his job. Did President Friday address that?
Well, you know, he wouldn't speculate about Davis's future, Andrea, but plenty of others have, and it wouldn't be shocking to see a new head coach for the Heels next year.
All right, Eddie Sykes, thanks. Starting us live right here in our studio.
The UNC School of Medicine will be adding branches in 2 other parts of the state. The expansion will add 2 regional campuses in Asheville and Charlotte. The medical school class will increase to 180 students by 2012. Hospital officials expect a shortage of physicians in the coming years. The additional campuses will help to train more physicians and help the state deal with the shortage. UNC Hospitals is focusing on Charlotte and Asheville because there's already a shortage of medical care in those 2 areas.
We all rely on Blackboard to manage our courses, but its days at UNC are numbered. By fall 2014, the program known as Sakai will replace Blackboard as the university's course management system. School officials say Sakai will make it easier for students to take tests and quizzes. And with UNC's budget concerns, it doesn't hurt that the Sakai is about $300,000 cheaper per year than Blackboard. The university will start the transition next school year. Another popular website with college students is once again taking some heat. New information reveals that some Facebook applications have been sharing your information with advertisers. The Farmville, Frontierville, and Mafia Wars applications have more than 80 million users each. As many as 20 other applications could also be involved. This means marketers can target you based on your interests, friends, and even the websites you look at. Zynga, the largest application maker, now faces class action lawsuits in California and Rhode Island. Facebook says it's working to correct the problem.
The Chapel Hill Police Department has new plans to keep us all safe, and it wants your feedback. The plans are meant to improve how officers patrol the town. The department will host open meetings where community members can react to goals and strategies in the plan. Police officials are organizing the meetings to give local residents the greatest possible opportunity to give their input. The department has also just announced that Police Chief Brian Curran will retire next month after serving for more than 2 decades with the department. He's worked on major crimes throughout the career, including the Eve Carson case. He said he's pleased with how both the town and the police department are heading into the future.
And also, it's just time. I've been here 24 years, but I've got my, 30 years in the retirement system, and I'm healthy, and I want to enjoy it.
Another retirement in Chapel Hill is stirring up conversation across campus. Professor Ralph Burns is leaving. The widely known econ professor will say goodbye to the university at the end of the school year. He started teaching here in 2001. In his 10 years at UNC, Burns has established himself as a student favorite within the economics department. He's known for his love of economics, engaging classes, and his one-on-one conversations with students. Burns says he and his wife are making the move to be closer to his family. He'll be returning to his alma mater, Arizona State, to continue teaching.
Recycling can save the planet and make for some very interesting work.
Coming up, we'll show you how one person's trash becomes another person's treasure.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblams, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
To you, this is a place to make macaroni and cheese. To someone else, it's a way to make a kid sorry for what he did. Preventing child abuse and neglect doesn't just mean reporting it. It means stopping it before it starts. Find out how at PreventChildAbuse.org or 1-800-CHILDREN. A child is helpless. You are not.
There's a place, not so far away, a place where you don't have to keep the volume down. You'll find all sorts of creatures in this place without have to. The silly you, the proud you. You may even meet the curious you.
It's tickling me! You!
Ask your parents to take you to this not so far away place. Come to the forest, where the other you lives. But first, stop by discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. The Eyes, Ears, Nose, and Paws Clinic brings a new definition to the saying, man's best friend. The 2-year-old clinic is the only one of its kind in the Triangle area. Reporter Carly Stevenson has the details.
Melanie Johnson lost the vision in her right eye after doctors diagnosed her with a grade 4 brain tumor.
But I did lose my vision and was having trouble just with strength and living alone.
Little B came into Johnson's life in August. He's not like other dogs. He's trained to assist people with disabling medical conditions.
The tumor eventually kind of went dormant, and then it came back just as I was re-diagnosed just as I got Little B. So it was kind of a godsend. Right, Little B?
Little B helps Melanie get around and retrieve things. And he also has a few tricks up his sleeve.
Good job!
That he motivates me to walk because he has to be exercised every day. And when I didn't have him, I wouldn't necessarily get out of the house if I didn't have to.
Dogs like Little B trained to become assistance dogs during a 6-month program at the clinic. Program director Deb Cunningham works with the puppy foster parents during the training.
The entire time that the puppy parents are working with the dogs, I'm working with them to create really good bonds between people and dogs, and I really enjoy that.
Trainers teach dogs to help with tasks like opening automatic doors, walking next to wheelchairs, and retrieving medicine. And the clinic needs more people to put in that time and effort.
Our foster parents who raise and train the dogs. It's a big commitment, but it's a huge reward too.
Especially when you see what a dog like Little B can mean to someone like Melanie. In Chapel Hill, I'm Carly Stevenson, Carolina Week.
Assistant dogs cost about $25,000. That's a high price. That high price includes the training sessions. It's a lot of money, but it's difficult to put a price tag on independence.
And we know Chapel Hill, but Scrapple Hill? No, we're not renaming the town. That's the name of the new art contest and exhibition at University Mall. University Mall is transformed into a space featuring art made from recycled, reused, and scrap materials. People passing through could admire the interesting ways to restore a toaster and a blender using just some old toys, squigglies, and other colorful knickknacks. And check out this art made from restored glass, reused string, and some recycled wood. There's even a woman's figure made out of old silverware. This event is a partnership between the town of Chapel Hill and University Mall. The goal is to encourage artists to submit works that help educate people and promote recycling.
If you've been in Carroll Hall this semester, you've likely seen the photo exhibit covering halls throughout the building. UNC's journalism school is the first stop for an exhibit by world-renowned photographer Ken Hyman. The reputation of the photojournalism program was one reason UNC got the exhibit first. The exhibit includes 81 photographs that range from extremely controversial to beautiful portraits. Some of the portraits on display include actress Marilyn Monroe, actress Elizabeth Taylor, and big band leader Louis Armstrong.
Students and Chapel Hill residents are preparing for one of the biggest holiday bashes of the year. At the Spirit Halloween store in Durham, kids and some bigger kids are gearing up for Halloween night, and many of them will be on Franklin Street. Depending on your age and tastes, there are a lot of costume choices, from Hannah Montana and Lady Gaga costumes to werewolf masks for the older partiers. And if you want to go all out, you might want to get some outdoor decorations as well, such as hanging skeletons or statue dolls. The Spooktacular night is a week from Sunday. And weathercaster Drew Day joins us.
Yes, Drew, what can we expect for this fall break weekend?
Well, it was a cloudy and rainy day today, but we'll see sunshine once again tomorrow. I'll have full details coming up.
Detalles sencillos tienen el mayor impacto. Por eso toma el tiempo y hoy sea un buen papá.
Un día en el bosque las ratas jugaban. Fósforos que no es muy bueno.
Escucha Smokey antes de tratar.
Solo tú.
No juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego. Fuego. No hay nada para un pobre conejo asustado, a un pobre ratón sin casa en que vivir. Si un hermoso bosque es lo que deseas, no juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego.
Solo tú puedes prevenir los fuegos forestales.
¡Fuego!
Hay un monstruo en mi tina. Hay uno en el sofá. Hay un monstruo en mi cama. Haz que se vayan los monstruos.
Aprende cómo ayudar a detener sus ataques de asma en noattacks.org.
All right, welcome back to Carolina Week, everybody. I'm Drew Day. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Let's go ahead and take a look at those weather headlines. It was a cloudy and rainy day today, but that is moving out as we speak. And then a quieter pattern will return tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. And then our next chance of rain comes Monday evening. And also, could we see highs back in the 80s once again? So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Taking a look at the radar across the area right now, there are some showers here over Chapel Hill in the central part of the state, but those are pushing out as we speak and coming to an end. And as we take a look at the satellite imagery, you can see that there are some thick clouds over the state, so it'll be a little while and later into the evening before we actually see clear skies once again. So it will be cloudy overnight tonight, but don't worry that those clouds will produce any rain. They won't. So if you have any outdoor plans, you can go ahead and go through with them because there won't be any rain once the rain comes to an end here in about an hour or so. Taking a look at the surface map, we have this low pressure over the state right now, and that's what generated the showers today. And we also had this low pressure system off to the west, and that will be part of what will interact with our weather throughout the rest of the week. And so as we take a look at tomorrow, you can see we had this cold front just to our north. That will be pushing through the state, and that will knock temperatures down once again on Friday. So here's a look at Friday, and you can see that the cold front will have passed at that point. So Friday will be a cooler day. We'll only see highs in the lower 70s. And as we take a look at the men's soccer game tonight this is on Friday, versus Virginia Tech, right around kickoff, expect temperatures right around 60 and clear skies. And then by 9 o'clock, as the game will be wrapping up, we'll be right around 54. So it'll be kind of a chilly evening out there, so you're going to want to take a jacket with you, again, if you're headed out to the men's soccer game this Friday. Taking a look at the State Fair forecast, this is the final weekend for the State Fair. The State Fair wraps up on Sunday. And as we take a look at the weekend, you can see Friday will be sunny with 70 degrees, Saturday mostly sunny and 73, and then Sunday partly sunny and 77. So especially Sunday, the last day of the fair, it will be wrapping up very nicely. So the fair officials are certainly happy with that weather that they've been seeing. For tonight, showers again are coming to an end, clearing skies right around 45. And then for tomorrow, sunny and warm, 76 degrees for our high. And then as we break tomorrow down just a little bit further so you know what to expect throughout the day, right around 8 a.m., 48, then by 12, 72, and then 53 by 8 p.m. And taking a look at the 5-day forecast, you can see that we'll see sunny skies for Thursday and Friday. Again, cooler Friday at 70, but then Saturday and Sunday look nice as well, but you can see Monday 78 with a 20% chance of rain, and Monday we actually could see 80 degrees, so we might see some warm weather once again.
Let's hope it's great weather. It's fall break. I know we're all excited, so we're hoping for a great weekend.
It'll be really nice.
Thank you so much, Drew. If you're a deep fried food lover and a thrill seeker, you have only until Sunday at midnight to make it out to the North Carolina State Fair. Many love the State Fair because it signifies the sunset of summer, but others just love the rides. And who can forget about the food? The Krispy Kreme burger is still getting a lot of buzz, and despite our earlier report, some people remain skeptical about combining a hamburger with 2 donuts. Others, though, choose to expose their taste buds to a new experience. And after all, that's what the State Fair is all about.
And sportscaster Justin Page joins us.
Justin, we have a big game this weekend. Our football team is going to Miami, so looking forward to that.
No, Claudia, that's definitely not an overstatement. A huge matchup in the ACC Coastal Division. Big game down in Miami. But the Heels actually could get an added bonus this weekend. Coming up after the break, the football team could have some extra defensive backfield help this weekend against the Canes.
It was not. It was like...
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, April.
Yeah?
You know your charger's still using energy when it's plugged into the wall, right?
Yeah, but that's not my charger. I don't even have a cell phone.
Millions of kids are using their energy wisely. What's your excuse? These things we count on every day started as ideas. Ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Justin Page. He's the problem that doesn't seem to go away. Former UNC assistant football coach John Blake is once again in the spotlight for his relationship with sports agent Gary Wishard. Two former Oklahoma players say Blake played a role in them signing with Wishard while Blake was head coach at Oklahoma. This has led some to question whether or not Blake did the same thing during his time at UNC. Wishard is currently the agent for former UNC defensive tackle and first-round pick Kentwan Balmer. Blake resigned last month in the midst of questions regarding his relationship with the agent. Moving on to the game this weekend, the football team could get a major boost this Saturday at Miami. Senior cornerback Kendrick Burney says he's been cleared to play in Saturday's game against the Canes after appearing before the honor court on Monday evening. However, the team hasn't confirmed whether or not Burney has been cleared. The NCAA suspended Burney for the first 6 games for receiving benefits and preferential treatment. This weekend, the Heels, though, could certainly use the senior. In last year's game against the Canes, Burney picked off Miami quarterback Ja'Cory Harris 3 times in a 33-24 Carolina victory. Now, the showdown in South Florida is Carolina's biggest game of the season. You see the ACC Coastal Division standings right there. Now, if the Heels can beat the Canes, they'll be in great position to compete for the Coastal Division crown. A win would also set up a huge matchup against first-place Virginia Tech in November. Kickoff for Saturday night's game is at 7:30, and it's hard to believe that this team is in this position. This past year has been a difficult one for Carolina fans. The basketball team struggled to even make the NIT, and we don't even need to go into the recent investigations with the football team. What has happened with UNC athletics? Well, reporter Emily Hawks might have found the answer.
It all started with one Presbyterian fan last December.
The positive energy and the karma of the program was disrupted by one guy yelling, "Hey, Dion, miss it," and the coach sort of being irritated and overreacting to it.
It was the UNC versus Presbyterian basketball game of 2009, and Coach Roy Williams had security throw Presbyterian fan Brian King out of the Dean Dome from this very seat.
That moment changed major UNC athletics. That's ACC reporter Dan Wiederer's theory anyway.
As a sort of tongue-in-cheek way to explain why that season went haywire so fast, you point back to that one incident.
Wiederer published an article in the Fayetteville Observer citing 10 moments in the past 9 months when UNC basketball and football have struggled. To name a few, UNC football lost in the Meineke Car Care Bowl for the 2nd year in a row. That was followed by a shocking basketball loss to College of Charleston in January. The Heels then lost to Dayton in the NIT championship. The trouble continues this season with NCAA investigations into the football program. And most recently, senior Will Graves was dismissed from the basketball team for failing to comply with team rules.
From that night on, there hasn't been a lot to cheer about, and there's been a lot to sort of take a lot of ibuprofen and Advil to cure your headaches with.
And how are Tar Heel fans taking this theory? Well, Rhoda Ostranek, who's been to every home basketball game since 1973, isn't too worried about it.
I just laughed. I thought it was funny. Our basketball team is going to surprise people.
But how exactly will Carolina break the curse of the Blue Hose heckler going into the 2010-2011 basketball season? Wiederer said that UNC needs only 2 things.
1, a Hall of Fame coach helps, and 2, the #1 recruit in the country helps.
Lucky for Carolina, the Heels have both. In Chapel Hill, I'm Emily Hawks, Carolina Week.
So can the basketball team finally break the curse? Carolina fans will have a chance to find out at the Heels' first game on November 12th against Lipscomb. Members of the men's soccer team are nursing some bumps and bruises, but are still getting the job done. Last night, the Heels faced the South Carolina Gamecocks in a game that remained scoreless at halftime. Now watch the left side of your game. This game got physical. Senior Eddie Ababio gets taken down right here. He would have to leave the game because of a leg injury. Ababio was replaced by freshman Robbie Lovejoy, who became the hero of the night. Check this out. Watch as he blocks this kick and then takes off downfield after it, and he taps the ball to himself before sneaking it in past the goalie for the only goal of the game. What a play right there. Carolina gets the win thanks to the freshman. For the remainder of this week, most UNC students will be on fall break, but student athletes won't be resting much this weekend. Number 3 women's soccer will take to the turf against the Tigers at Clemson on Thursday night and then face off in Chapel Hill against number 6 Maryland on Saturday. Heading over to Carmichael Arena, volleyball takes over on Friday and Saturday when the Heels play Virginia Tech and Virginia. And it's also a big weekend for women's field hockey. The #1 ranked Tar Heels will play at #2 Maryland on Saturday at 1. Talk about a very big game. So it certainly is a busy weekend here on campus. And if anyone is still left on campus, get out there and root for your Tar Heels.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that we won't be here, but it's kind of funny, we're both from Miami, so this game is going to be pretty interesting to watch. But of course, we'll be rooting for the Tar Heels.
I was about to say, Tar Heels go down to Florida this weekend, trying to make it 4 in a row against the Canes. That would be quite an accomplishment.
It would be great, and we'll definitely both be rooting for the Tar Heels. All right, thanks, Justin. Whatever you do, it's a bonus when you get to throw everything into your work.
For a local artist, everything includes the kitchen sink.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week and Carolina Connection online at carolinaweek.org.
Sounds like you could use some Van Gogurt. It's fortified with arts-rich nutrients to improve your math and reading skills. Catch!
Van Gogurt, thanks. So what's the deal with your ear?
Always with the ear, huh?
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Carolina Week.
And if you've walked down the alley near the Carolina Coffee Shop during the past few weeks, you've probably asked yourself, who was that man covered in paint?
Reporter Nicole McKinley has your answer.
Michael Brown is the mural artist responsible for decorating the town of Chapel Hill. And right now, the university is paying for him to restore one of his most popular works of art, the parade mural.
I'm really, really flattered that they want to keep it, and they've asked me to restore it, and they want it for another number of years. But more than that, I just really enjoy the people coming by and talking.
Brown draws his inspiration from the people who pass by him every day.
It makes me feel great. It makes it more public, more communal, more the property of everybody. And the Frisbee originally was something a student just walked by and said, well, I put a Frisbee, and it wouldn't be Carolina without a Frisbee flying around.
The original theme of the mural was diversity, and Brown has added some changes to it to reinforce that theme.
One of the kids running through the parade, I gave him a yarmulke, and I gave the woman a scarf on her head. And I have a woman soccer player, and I added a 9 on her uniform, and this stands for Title IX.
He's also adding other things, all in the name of fun.
A professor smoking a pipe and, blowing smoke, so that was kind of fun. It's a lot of fun to lampoon all these university types.
The next mural on the list for restoration is the Sea Turtle mural on Franklin and Columbia. The Painted Walls project is currently raising money to fund the renovations. Until then, Brown is focused on not leaving anyone or anything out of his parade.
Everything but the kitchen sink? Hell no, everything and the kitchen sink.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Nicole McGinley, Carolina Week.
We actually have some breaking news. Justin is back here on set. What is it? What's going on?
Well, Claudia, Andrew, we just got word from Kevin Best, the football team spokesperson. It appears that Charles Brown, the starting cornerback who has been out for the season so far, it looks like he has unresolved issues with the investigation. He will miss the rest of the season, while Kendrick Burney, we mentioned him just a few minutes ago, his status for the Miami game is still unresolved. So we just want to give you the update and let our viewers know what was going on.
Seems every day we just get more news. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.